All right, when it comes to testosterone boosters, there's no limit to the options that you have today. The problem is though, most of these testosterone boosters are just designed to optimize production of testosterone. But even then, testosterone boosters can only do so much for someone who's natural. And if your testosterone levels are already fine, then you probably don't need a testosterone booster. But when it comes to strength training and gaining gains, there are actually some good supplements that I think, in my opinion, that are worth trying. Although there's studies that's showing conflicting information, conflicting proof that these supplements actually work. And even if they do work, some companies don't even put the correct amount inside. For example, as of recent, Nootropics Depot went ahead and tested a bunch of testosterone supplements for its actual testosterone content and found that most of these supplements didn't even have 1% of the claimed amount on the labels. A lot of the problems do stem from the supplement companies, but the other issue is the studies itself. So the best we can do as reviewers is actually take full in-depth reports of our progress on these type of supplements, which can help other people make their decisions. But even then, a lot of the times when you take a new supplement, you tend to dial in your diet. You might tend to work out harder. You might just have this placebo effect, which is something to keep in mind. And whether they work or not can't really be proven without actual studies and without actual controlled studies under controlled environments. So it's kind of hard to decide, for me to decide for you that this supplement is right for you. But the best I can do is go in depth with my review, give you actual before and after photos, and give you actual data that I have collected from my workouts. First, I am going to go over the ingredients, the extract that Sapogenix has, and then I'm also going to involve the studies behind them. The studies do show that these plant-based steroids have some sort of effect. The most important part, I think, of this video is my actual review. Okay, so Sapogenix, this is from Huge Supplements. Their formulas are top-notch. Once in a while, they actually make it even better, bigger. For example, Pump Serum V2, Rect V2. So Sapogenix, this is promising to increase strength and size. Let's see here. The claims here: explosive strength and power, supercharged recovery, extreme mass gain. So there's nothing about testosterone, right? And some of these herbs are actually used in testosterone boosters. So Sapogenix is actually made out of one big extract. And this extract comes from the plant yam, or otherwise known as Discoraceae machino. This is a herb that's found in China and some parts of Japan. So this herb is basically yam. This one particular yam has compounds that show promise for bodybuilding. And if you look at the label, it does look confusing. There's a lot of ingredients that have numbers in them, and they give you like the scientific names of the ingredients. But there's one ingredient that stands out in here, and that's Laxogenin. So Huge Supplements, they do have a standalone Laxogenin product, which just has Laxogenin, but this has not only Laxogenin, but also other herbs and other plant-based steroids in here, right? So this is a completely natty supplement. It's not gonna increase your testosterone beyond normal levels, nor is it going to make you like Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you're looking at me, this is me after 2 months of Sapogenix. The ingredients are interesting. So this extract of 250 milligrams actually takes 10 to 14 grams of the actual plant to make and to process. So the ingredients do look strange, but they're actually familiar. They're actually the same furanolinic sapiens that's found in fenugreek. And there's a bunch of studies on fenugreek that show that it can increase strength. Actually, this extract is used in a lot of high-tech pharmaceutical prohormones. They have like a patented form of this extract, and the patented form do promise a standardization for each of the category of compounds inside. If this is a high quality extract, there should be that same standardization. So as I mentioned, this is a completely natty product. There are no side effects. There is no on-cycle or off-cycle stack required for this supplement because it's completely natural. It's made out of plant-based herbs. So these plant-based herbs, plant-based steroids, I should say, are actually used by plants to grow and insects as well. There's some promise and some studies that show it could be useful for humans because it's so natty, it's so natural that if it's true and it does have these effects, but we're not completely certain of them yet, it could be really useful for bodybuilding and people who want to get bigger. So one of the most anabolic compounds in Sapogenix is 6-ketodisoginin. This one has been shown to show a lot of promise for anabolic activity. Another compound that's useful in here that's shown promise to increase testosterone is protodiosone. I am going to have trouble pronouncing that. So check out this one study. This one study took 50 men between the ages of 35 to 65. They were given 500 milligrams of a patented form of fenugreek, which is called Sap, which is promised to have 20% protodiosone, which should be the amount in Sapogenix. If Sapogenix does indeed have a high quality extract, then it should have at least 40% protodiosone. 50 men were given 500 milligrams of Sap, and they were between the ages of 35 to 65, and that was per day for 12 weeks. 90% had a 46% increase in free testosterone, and also increased sperm count, improved mood, improved cardiovascular health, and libido. So protodiosone and saponin, the content in this extract, has been shown to show promise for bodybuilding. Although if you buy this, you're considered to be an early adopter, I do think that there is some benefit to taking this, even if it's not for the strength and bodybuilding benefits, because these herbs have benefits for cholesterol levels, blood pressure, mood. All these herbs work together to just work in synergy to help improve overall health, which I think is beneficial, which I think actually Sapogenix could be considered a multivitamin, because not only can it, in my experience, can it help increase strength in bodybuilding and muscle building, but it can also improve overall health. So check this out. Some studies have shown fenugreek to increase strength, improve body composition, increase free and total test, and increase libido and anabolic activity. So researchers believe that fenugreek can increase muscular performance. For example, in this study, 2 groups of health participants were used. One group was taking fenugreek, another was taking placebo, and they were using an 8-week program, and stats were taken baseline at week 4 and at week 8. At the end of 8 weeks, they were found to have increased free test, better endurance, and reduced body fat. It's believed to work by reducing estrogen, which should lead to increased testosterone. At least that's what the researchers were concluded to. So as I mentioned, these plant-based steroids not only have benefits for blood pressure and cardiovascular health and cholesterol, but it can also improve insulin sensitivity. There's also another study that's showing it can increase testosterone, it can improve cognitive function, and also there's also a study that suggests it has benefits for anti-aging. But don't get me wrong, not all the research is perfect. There's also a study that's showing fenugreek doesn't have any benefit for anabolic activity. And fenugreek uses some of the same compounds as Sapogenix. In particular, that's the protodiosone content. So a lot of the problems from taking supplements is absorption, bioavailability. For example, in pre-workouts, we have black pepper extract and we have estrogen, which should help absorption with all the ingredients that it's taken with. But when it comes to anabolic supplements, especially natty ones like Testosterone and Ecdysterone, there's a delivery system that also helps with bioavailability, and that's Ecdysterone technology. It's basically an absorption technology that uses fat and carbs to help you absorb the ingredients better. And there's also research behind this technology. It's not just some fancy marketing term. For example, the carb part of this technology, it was first investigated in the 1970s and 80s. So it was used on cancer drugs. It was also used with testosterone. Participants would use subliminal testosterone. So this technology should help you theoretically absorb the anabolic ingredients in Sapogenix. So absorption shouldn't be an issue when you're taking Sapogenix. My review. All right, so at the time I took this, which was like 2 weeks ago, I finished taking it. 33 years old, so I have nearly 15 years of lifting experience. I went on a 2-month cycle with Sapogenix. I used 2 in the morning, and I know the instructions say take 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening. I just took 2 in the morning. So I've used Sapogenix for 2 months, and at the very beginning, on the first day, I took a video of my current physique. And then after a month, I took some notes to see what changed, and I wanted to take my exercises as a way to measure my strength gains from Sapogenix. One of the things I was able to improve was my dumbbell bench press. So my gym has always had 50 kilos, and then during my 2 months of using Sapogenix, they actually got 75 kilo dumbbell, which is about 160 pounds per dumbbell. So each dumbbell weighs 160 pounds, and I attempted to press this because I normally could only press 50 kilos ever with dumbbells, because most gyms don't have anything more than 50 kilos. And even if they have heavy dumbbells, sometimes they won't even have 50 kilos. When my gym got the 75 kilos, I knew I had to try it. And I attempted to press it after 4 weeks of using Sapogenix. And I couldn't get one clean rep. I couldn't go all the way down. I could only stop halfway. As you can see in the video I'm showing you right now, I could only press it up to, the range of motion wasn't there. So then fast forward 2.5 weeks later, I attempted to press it again and I could get one clean rep. The second rep maybe wasn't as clean, but the second rep should count, I think. Here's a video of me pressing it. And so after 2.5 weeks, I was able to press it. And the first time I attempted it, it was very hard. I couldn't do it. So get this, fast forward 3 months after using Sapogenix, a full month after ending use with Sapogenix, I was able to press 75 kilos for 3 or 4 clean reps. I can show you the video right now. I don't remember exactly how many reps, but I think it was at least 3 clean ones. And so a full month after ending use with Sapogenix, I was still able to increase my reps with 75 kilos. So would I have been able to press that without Sapogenix? I don't know, but I didn't do anything else different in my diet, in my program. I've been using the same program for 2 years now. I'm using the FAT program, which is, you can find the spreadsheet on my website. There's a free Excel sheet, free Google sheet. You can record your own stats. Make sure to save your own copy though. That way you can edit and save your own stats, enter your own 1 rep max, and that way you can progress properly throughout the 4 weeks of each program. So my program didn't change, my diet didn't change. Pre-workouts are always the same, not always the same, but I've been using the same pre-workouts, so there's nothing really new. There's nothing in the pre-workouts that could make me press that much more, except for the energy and citrulline and all this can improve, but I've never being able to cleanly press 75 kilo dumbbells 2 weeks after attempting to do it and I couldn't do it at all, I think is pretty good. I don't know. I don't think I would have been able to do that without Sapogenix, in my opinion, but it could be placebo. It could be like my mindset. It's just like I have to press this 75 kilos. So having the ability to press the 75 kilo dumbbells, like each dumbbell was 75 kilos, is crazy. I've never pressed more than 50 kilos. Pull-ups, my weighted pull-ups didn't increase. I'm able to do 90 pounds, 40 kilos, which is close to 90 pounds. It's like 88 pounds. I'm able to pull up for 4 clean reps, like totally clean, sitting at the bottom of the rep, going all the way to the top with my chin above the bar. But I haven't been able to pull up more than 4 times. I don't know why. Maybe I should try to increase the weight and then a week later go back down to 90 pounds and then try to press or try to pull up for more reps. Maybe that's the key. But my weight didn't really change. I started at 88 kilos. I ended up at 90 kilos after 2 months. You can judge the pictures for yourself, how I look before and after. I gained 1 kilo. I increased my dumbbell bench press. I wasn't able to increase my reps for my pull-ups. My barbell bench press isn't that great, but I'm able to press 265 for reps when normally it used to be at 250. My mental game was great. I was motivated. Since starting Sapogenix, I've been more motivated. I don't know why. I don't know if it's from the herbs itself, but it felt good. I don't want to say I normally feel depressed or anything. So my mental game was noticeably stable. Like I wouldn't say I'm more happy or less sad. I'm just stable. Like throughout the day, there's no ups and downs, just normal. Like I've been feeling good, like generally. So yeah, I felt good. I felt stronger. Those are my stats. For someone who is well past the newbie gains and made like 1 kilo weight gain, which isn't that impressive, but made gains in strength is amazing. Like any percentage of gain in strength is amazing for me. So those are my results. The only highlight I would really like push out there with Sapogenix was that I was able to go from pressing 50 kilos to pressing 75 kilos and being able to press the 75 kilos 2 weeks after attempting to do it for any number of reps, but I couldn't get anything. And then I got 2 or 3 clean reps on the second week, like 2 weeks after attempting the first time, is amazing. And 1 kilo gained. Generally, I don't know if it's a placebo effect, but I did feel stronger. I did it, like I've used a lot of supplements in the past. Ecdysterone, testosterone, Sapogenix, Laxogenin, but nothing really makes me feel like I'm on something than Sapogenix, because Sapogenix has not only Laxogenin, but it has other things, and I know that, so maybe it is, again, a placebo effect, but I do think the mix of steroid, like plant-based steroids, help a lot, rather than just having like one single potent anabolic plant steroid, which is Laxogenin. It's amazing to have like a mix and a blend, and this is a blend that's used by a company that puts it in their hardcore pro hormones, which are known to be strong, and that's high-tech pharmaceuticals. So that's telling me something that, and I think it's worth experimenting with if you have the money. It's expensive. It comes at a premium pricing at $99, but you can get it for $89 with my discount code FitFrick. So if you use my discount code, you can get a nice discount, but it does come at a premium pricing. Now, you might argue that protein powder or even steroids are cheaper than buying Sapogenix. That may be true, but it depends on your goals. If you want to be natty, or if you already have protein, or if you have the money. You shouldn't be buying any supplements at all if you don't have the money. And if you're a beginner, then you should just be using creatine. But as someone who's trying to experiment and trying to find ways to make gains while remaining natural, Sapogenix, I think, is a game changer. But again, it's not solid. The evidence behind it, like the research, it's not solid. It's not 100%. It's not foolproof. But I do think it's worth trying if you have the money. And if you haven't tried Laxogenin yet, maybe you should try that first to see how your body responds to pure Laxogenin. And then the next step might be Sapogenix. But if you just want to go straight to the strong stuff, then there's no loss, I think, other than your wallet feeling lighter. But again, you should have the money. It's expensive, yes. But typically, Ecdysterone on its own or Laxogenin costs $60. And then when you're getting other herbs as well, $90 makes more sense. So you might be asking, what can I stack with Sapogenix? What would be great to add with it? If you're not already taking creatine, of course you should be taking creatine. What you can stack with it, I think, is Ecdysterone would be a good combination with it. Ecdysterone or testosterone. Epitech is from Huge Supplements, but the main ingredient is epicatin. If you can combine epicatin with Sapogenix as well as Ecdysterone, I think you'd be on a really good stack. In my honest opinion, Sapogenix is strong. It's like a mixture of herbs that not only has benefits for strength and muscle building, but also has benefits for overall health. And you should, of course, be getting your zinc, your magnesium, vitamin D, get your sunlight, or get your vitamin D from a supplement. Vitamin D3 combined with K2 would be a good combination. Okay, so how long does it take for Sapogenix to work and kick in? So I've used it for 2 months, and after about 3 weeks, I started to notice like noticeable strength gains in the gym. But after a month, I felt like it was like fully kicking in, full gear. If you do get it and you get 1 month, you'll get a lot of benefits from it. But I think if you want to maximize the results, 2 months makes sense. Or you can go Sapogenix and then use Ecdysterone. By week 3, I felt like the gears were turning. Maybe and between week 1 and week 2, I didn't really feel anything for sure. But week 3 to week 4, the gears were turning. And then week 4, I felt like the gears going full speed. And week 6 and 7, I felt like that was the max, or I felt like I was at the peak because of my bench pressing with the 75 kilos. But if you do get it and you get 1 month, you'll be happy. But if you get it for 2 months, I think you'll be the most happy, although it'll be pricey. I know it'll be pricey, but that's why I say I don't think you should get it if you don't have the money. But if you do get it, get 1 month. If you have like extra money, then 2 months makes sense. But it's expensive, I know. It's expensive. But I guess you could try it out for a month, see how the results are, and then you can consider 2 months later on down the road. But I think 1 month is more than enough to experiment with. You'll see results, you'll be happy. Trust, this stuff is good, but hopefully you're not a beginner, because if you make gains and you're on Sapogenix, you might think it's from Sapogenix when in fact it's from your beginner gains, it's from your newbie gains. Because when you're first starting out, you have this timeline or this sequence when you make the most gains, and that's early on in your training career. So you'll want to have your diet and training already dialed in. You should already know what you're doing long before you start using Sapogenix. In my honest opinion, I think it's worth it. So you might be wondering, how long does Sapogenix take to kick in? So I used it for 2 months, and it took about 3 weeks for me to start noticing strength gains. And I just felt stronger and really good at week 3. But come week 4, I felt like it was going like full speed. I was starting to make way more gains. But if I was just using it for 1 month, I would still notice a lot of gains, because by week 4, I would be noticeably stronger. But the first 1 to 2 weeks, I didn't really feel that much other than like a mental, like feeling good kind of thing. Like I'm on Sapogenix, things are going to be good from the gym. So I just feel good. But by week 3, like maximum week 4, I felt like the speed was going full speed. So I did do 2 months. And if you do get it, you should start with 1 month. And if you're confident enough in my review, then you should take 2 months, but only if you have the money. This is not something, if you're on a budget and you can barely afford creatine, you should definitely use creatine first. Creatine is way more effective in the long run, at least. Get it. If you get it for 1 month, you'll be happy. If you get it for 2 months, you'll be more than happy, I think, in my opinion. But I think it's worth it. It's worth the money. It's worth experimenting with. Approach it with open mind and record your stats before, during, and after. So final words, Sapogenix is quite an experience. It's not something for everyone because it's expensive and it's not totally solid in the science and research department. But when it comes to my report, as well as other reviewers I've seen, it's a good anabolic natty supplement to experiment with. And if you do take it, please take before and after pictures. Make sure your diet and training is on point before you start taking it. So you should be already training at your max effort with diet and training and your program. If you don't have a program, check out my website. I have free spreadsheets. Please, if you have any questions, if you tried Sapogenix or Laxogenin or Ecdysterone or any of those plant-based steroids, please let me know. Love to hear your experiences. Thank you so much for watching.